The Millennium Development Goal 3 seeks to empower women in the society. Dr. Kweju Agri said, "If you educate a man, you educate an individual. If you educate a woman, you educate a nation." The role of women cannot be overlooked in any society. Women are venturing into new sectors that were solely preserved for men. They include driving, welding, painting, spraying, engineering, amongst others. It's a normal day in Accra, and workers, as usual, are undertaking their normal day-to-day activities. So we catch up with a woman who, against all the odds, decides to be a bus driver of women.
I'm happy that I'm a driver. Sometimes somebody will look at you and say, why are you there? Then I'm happy.
We went to the Transport Ministry to seek their views on this wonderful initiative of women being commercial bus drivers.
Women are very careful when it comes to driving. So we realize that in this country we don't have women being involved in commercial driving. But the record shows that women who drive public cars are very careful, and especially do they get involved in accidents. So it was thought that we should introduce women to commercial driving as a way to motivate other drivers to drive safely.
The initial focus was on safety. So we were looking at safety, and of course for a transport company, we're also looking at fuel efficiency. And then we realized that women, by their nature, generally they are more safer on the road. By their nature, I'm talking about how the way they are more patient, the way they are more careful in things that they do. So we decided, okay, well, let's rather bring in the women. Let's try the women and see if our crash record will improve. And so that is why. So the focus was on safety.
Women drivers, just like any other drivers, are protected by the law. So we don't have a discriminative law that supports the women driver as against the female, the male driver. But I think the women drivers go through a special training. They go through a special type of training before they are given the license. Because the buses they drive are big buses. And then normally, to be able to drive these buses, you have to go through a series of training before you can drive.
It took about 9 months for me to become a driver. We used 3 months here.
The women were taken outside the country and given a special type of driving.
In Metromas, our training policy for drivers that are taking a year, we organized 4 retraining programs for all drivers. The focus for the female drivers, we are even focusing more because these are people that just became drivers. So it means that our attention has to go on them more relatively compared to the men. So yes, we organize retraining program for them. Even next month, we're looking at organizing a maneuvering training program where we build their capacity in maneuvering within a very limited spaces. So yes, and then beyond that, we also monitor them a lot. You can't ask them to go on the road and not monitor to ensure that they are okay on the road. So we monitor them, and based on the report we get from the monitoring, we use that to design a retraining or refresher program for them.
And then since they started, none of these women drivers has had any or been involved in any serious accidents.
Yes, I can say that. I can boldly say that.
For some of our depots or for some of our routes, like in Odan depot, there are routes that when you ask a man to drive on, he comes back with the bus damaged. But for this same route, you ask the woman to drive on this route or those routes, they come back safely. It means that we are reaping a lot of benefit from the ladies in regards to their safe driving attitude. If we are getting these benefits, then nothing stops us from moving forward, right? So yes, we have plans of moving forward. However, because I said initially that it's a pilot project that we are still doing, so we're still studying and looking at the overall benefit, not to Metromas alone, but to Ghana as a whole. And when we realize that we are really benefiting from this thing, it's a good cause, which I think it will be because other transport companies in other parts of the world have done it and they are benefiting. It means that at the end of the day we'll move forward with it. So yes, I think there's a lot of future for female drivers in Metromas and Ghana in general. Yes, in regards to educational background, we place emphasis on education because it's important. Some amount of education is needed for us to be able to train you. So we look at you have to have SSE level or middle school living certificate, and then we just don't base it on the certificate. Even after having a certificate, you should have the ability to read and write, because having the certificate itself is not enough. So we look at that aspect, and your age issue is also important because in Ghana, a commercial driver, you have to be 25 years and above. So we also place emphasis on age. We also place emphasis on your strength, that is your physical strength. And during the training, we do a lot of physical trainings for them. And then I think we also place emphasis on your eyesight. So these are some of the things that we look at.
Driving is a profession, and you must accord the drivers, both women and men, their respect. Because look at the number of drivers, more passengers that the drivers carry. A little mistake on their part, so we should give the drivers needed assistance. We encourage them and then pay them well so that they can also be happy in their life.
From the humble ranks of a bus conductor, Mary Bamenzuti rises to the rank of a bus driver.
I was a conductor before I became a bus driver.
It became more easier. When it comes to a man or the male drivers, before they come in, they've already cultivated some behavior already in regards to their driving of trotro on the way. So changing that behavior was difficult for the men. But it was easier to inculcate new behavior into
the beginning. I didn't know how to drive. I've never even ride a motor before. So I didn't have any knowledge about driving. Maybe when you ask me, I didn't know anything. So when we entered the classroom and it was like road signs, it was a very difficult thing for me to do.
But no, it wasn't that easier training them because they are not professional drivers from day one. These are people that most of them, I mean, the driving was new to them, or the driving is new to them. It means that you need to take them through a whole lot of training. However, you're not going to train them for small cars. We're going to train them for heavy duty vehicles. It means that you need to have a comprehensive training program and make sure that you take them through it step by step, try to build their confidence, which is very important. So at the end, they become the sort of drivers that you want them to become.
How can I copy all these things into my head? And there were plenty. You read from here to here. It was very difficult. But when we started it, we used to add joke to race, and then it came. So when we went to the field, it was difficult because the first day I sat in the bus, I looked at my back and then I saw that the bus was very long. I said, as for this one. Then I said, no, I can't. Then my instructor said I should sit down there.
Right from day one, it wasn't only I wouldn't call it it was only a baby, because then we had to collaborate with DVLA, with National Road Safety, with the Ministry of Women and Children Affairs. So they are aware. That is why I said it earlier on that we submit report to DVLA. DVLA don't take report on our male drivers, but they take on female drivers because they're also interested. And periodically, road safety also tries to meet this lady. So I mean, we collaborate with all these people, and then we're trying to, because we believe that safety is a collective duty. Even if we are safe and our other transport companies are not safe, we cannot ensure 100% safety on the road. So we also try to collaborate with other transport companies and let them see the importance of the female drivers and how we benefited so far. So at the end of the day, they can also learn from some of these things. So yes, we collaborate with
our
other
instructors did very well. They did a very great job, because it is even as of now, if you ask me to teach someone how to drive, I can't do it. It's very difficult and stressful. And if you don't have the heart, you can't do it. So,
the performance of this woman, driving is
For now, because they are new to the driving system over here as far as the commercial driving is concerned. So we try to limit the distance that they can go so that we can observe them. That's why for every quarter we submit a report to DVL. So we need to tell them the kind of distance they've covered. So for long distance, if you're talking about long in terms of moving from one region to the other or crossing regions, no really. We are focusing on short distance, but not that short. Some of them travel, let's say from Accra to beyond Tema, beyond. Some of them even go to Ho. But it depends. Usually, before you go on a longer distance, we need to ensure that you build your capacity enough to go to that distance.
Reaffirming the issue of safety, Auntie Mary decides to check her horn before embarking on her journey.
She's the constant wind that fills my sail, oh, that woman.
We speak to some passengers to share their views on women driving commercial buses.
That's a woman.
Enforce and see that they are very much I need to anything beyond
He's always a man who can do with driving young because man don't want to say we're going to go to the payment of because the person came to Saka to work and say, well, I'm not going to say so I just say, your money is because we're automatic to buy a man who are living. What can you do automatically by a man who can say it is a person man driving you here. Was here more short say yes, the mouth career is here for the river. And I don't fire for. I guess I'll drive from around after area. Nobody was there was a solution.
Okay, what I will tell other ladies out there that everything you are doing, just do it with all your heart. Don't just stop. Move forward. When the opportunity comes, take it, and it will help you. I think that's all I have to say.
I